Hello and welcome to Louisville Now. We're coming to you from the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. And of course, first note of business is this place is going to be busy very quickly. Holiday travel season is here. Maybe you're getting ready to plan a sunny vacation, warm up a little bit as the cold weather approaches. Either way, I think it's important that we talk to Anthony Gilmer. He is the VP of Air Service Development. Anthony, thank you for talking to us.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Okay, first and foremost, this is timely. Holiday travel.
Yes.
It's going to get busy. Talk a little bit about how busy will it be here in Louisville at this particular airport?
We're expecting a very busy holiday travel season, so both Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. The busiest day around Thanksgiving is always the Sunday. So the days leading up, those are all steadily busy days. Wednesday's the busiest ahead of Thanksgiving, but then Sunday is kind of that mass exodus of people going back to where they live from visiting family.
Yeah, Anthony, I'm going to circle back to that, but before I do, I wanted to ask you, you've had a couple of incidents here that really attention and probably were a little unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Flight 2976. And then, of course, we had the government shutdown that had to affect you as well. Let's take them one at a time. Government shutdown. Did it affect Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport?
Very fortunately, all operations here remain normal. We're not aware of any impacts that directly had on our operations. So I'm very fortunate there and very thankful for the TSA workers and the ATC workers as well that kept working through that.
And this is a tough topic for all of us because I think not only was this community, in mourning, but I think the entire country, because when something unexpected like Flight 2976, when that happens, how did it impact you personally, the staff here, and how are we moving through this, navigating through this, because it's unprecedented. So how are things going at this point?
Yeah, the things like that are always extremely unfortunate, and obviously our hearts go out to everyone impacted. As a staff, aviation is kind of a big family. We all feel these things when these things happen, whether it's here or somewhere else, but we always work through it. And at the end of the day, aviation is still by far the safest way to travel, as evidenced by all the data and just how shocking it is when these things happen, right? So, it's kind of one of those things where we all wrap our arms around each other and get through it.
And we talked a little bit about holiday travel or maybe getting away to warmer weather. With that being said, assuming it's going to be busy here at the airport, can you give us maybe some travel tips, things people should know before they come here?
Absolutely. So you always want to check your flight status online before you come to the airport. So check with your airline, check your airline's app. We advise folks get here about 2 hours early, especially around that peak travel period, just to give yourself ample time, get through security, check those bags, get a bite to eat. The last thing you want to do is have to be running to the gate because some unforeseen situations. So get to the airport early, check your flight status online, make sure you check with the TSA as well what you can pack, what you can and can't take through the checkpoint, just so that there's no snags in the road that could be avoided and you'll have a smooth travel experience.
Yeah, and check your stress level, right? Because everyone's busy. You want to go see mom and dad or your uncles and aunts, so just keep it cool, right?
Absolutely. And the airlines are all trying to get everybody everywhere they need to go as quickly and safely as possible.
Okay, renovations.
Yes.
Okay, any new renovations coming here to the Muhammad Ali Airport?
Absolutely. Renovations everywhere. So we're well into the midst of SDF Next. It's started in 2019, but it's going to be over $1 billion of investment and renovation improvement into the airport. Baggage claims already been done, so baggage claims kind of a window into the future of what the airport's going to look like. So we're going to be moving into the ticketing level, refresh look, more open, more space in the lobby. We're going to move out to the concourses, refresh look out there, better skylights, more seating, looking at more concessions options in the future and things like that. Our checkpoint expansion is underway right now. That's under construction. A few years ago, we had a 5-lane checkpoint that was relatively cramped. We're going to move into a space that has a 10-lane checkpoint, lots of ample room for pre-check and clear and all those services that folks want.
So make a travel experience smooth, safe, enjoyable, right?
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
Yes.
All right, speaking of goals here, if I want to go down south, from what I understand, there's going to be more nonstop flights coming out of here. I'm excited. Tell me about it.
More nonstop flights all the time. So we just announced new nonstops to Gulf Shores, Alabama. So kind of a gateway airport to Gulf Shores and Orange Beach there. One of the busier destinations we didn't have service to, their airport just opened this year actually. So it's a brand new destination for airlines in general. So we're excited to welcome that on Allegiant. That's going to start in May and be twice a week all through the summer. And we always see growth on those popular busy Florida routes like Orlando, Tampa, Fort Myers. All those places are seeing more flights from the airlines, especially as we get into those colder months.
You know, I think people here in Louisville are proud of our airport. I've always had a good experience here, and it sounds to me, Anthony, like things are going in a positive direction. So how are you feeling moving forward here?
I'm optimistic and I'm excited. You know, we've grown over 40% since 2018, and I think a lot of people don't think about that. If you step back, one of the fastest growing airports in the country in that frame of time. We've supported all these new routes and all these new airlines, so I think it's blue skies ahead for SDF. You know, we're very aggressive. We're going to keep pursuing those new nonstops, giving folks more options to go to and from Louisville.
Blue skies ahead.
Yes, sir.
See, you know, those dad jokes are supposed to be mine, Anthony. You delivered it well. All right, Anthony Gilmer, once again, he's the Vice President of Air Service Development here at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. All right, coming up, we're going to keep you informed about safety here at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Safety, what has been done, what you can look forward to, improvements, all of that on Louisville Now.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Metro TV shows your government in action. Metro TV is the only place you will see every minute of Metro Council meetings live. Be informed, be prepared, be a part of our community. Stay connected with Louisville Metro TV on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube, and Spectrum Cable Channel 184. Metro TV, engage, empower, entertain.
My daughter is Alexandria Nicole Daggett. She was a Beta Club member. She loved volleyball. She was murdered on March 14, 2020, at the ripe age of 20. They use TikTok and social media so much, and you don't know who your friend really is that's on that other end and what lifestyle they're living, and you can become a victim of it.
Copper wire theft is robbing us of our safety. Thieves are targeting our essential infrastructure, darkening roadways, disrupting emergency services, shutting down internet networks, and causing over $1 million in damages just last year. Copper wire theft is illegal. Mayor Craig Greenberg's Copper Wire Theft Task Force is getting results, but your help is needed. If you see something suspicious, call Crime Stoppers at 502-582-CLUE. You could get a $5,000 reward.
Welcome back to Louisville Now. Everyone has been talking about Flight 2976, not just here in Louisville, but nationally. It was something that was unprecedented. We all, of course, mourn the victims, prayers to the families, but this man has had a lot of camera time. He is Josh Grimes, and he is the Director of Public Safety here at the airport. Josh, first of all, I want to thank you because it's got to be very stressful for you. You're human as well. This touches you in a personal way. So thank you for what you've done thus far.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, Flight 2976, as I mentioned, unprecedented. No one sees an accident like this coming. So how have we navigated this? Tell me about your role.
Well, I'm the Chief and the Director of Public Safety here at the Louisville Muhammad Ali Airport. And our public safety department is unique in the respect that all 45 of our public safety officers are cross-trained and dual certified in both the police officer role and the firefighter role. So within their shift, 8 hours they're pulling a police officer patrol shift, and the rest of the time they're spending the time in the fire station.
So obviously there were federal authorities here as well. Whenever there's an incident of this magnitude, you've got both the federal, local, city, everyone working together. Has that been tough to navigate, or has everything gone rather smoothly?
Surprisingly, everything's gone very, very smoothly. And I shouldn't say surprisingly, because we spend a lot of time interacting with local, state, and federal leaders from all these different entities on a monthly and quarterly basis. So it's not unusual for me to see the person who's leading the local FBI office. It's not unusual for me to see Paul Humphrey with LMPD, Jody Myman with EMA. So having those opportunities in the past to be able to network with those individuals, train beside those individuals, it worked out perfectly.
It seems to me that everything that possibly could be done was done. You know, obviously, as I said, you know, there's things that happen that you just can't help, and then you just have to react accordingly, and it seems like you have. Are you happy with what has been done thus far, and where do we stand now?
Sure. Yeah, of course, we're all still mourning the folks that were lost in the 2976 incident. We actually personally had a dispatcher who lost her sister in this incident, so it's affected us within our own family as well. All in all, yeah, we're very happy of how smoothly things ran considering the circumstances. The rescue and firefighting operations have since completed, and now we've transitioned into an environmental cleanup mode now. So everything's been turned back over to the city of Louisville to manage that part of the incident.
I'm curious. You're a father. I can't imagine the stress level when this first happened, and you're trying to react as quickly as you can, and as you said, work with all the authorities from different entities. How have you and your team handled the stress?
It's been stressful, no doubt about it, and there's been a lot of advances over the years to encourage public safety folks and first responders to address their mental health and to make sure that they're getting the self-care that they need. So we took a very proactive approach early on to invite in some counselors and therapists to talk with our team and to make sure that they're okay.
Okay. So where do we stand now? You touched upon where you are in the process. So it's more of a cleanup mode now? Is that where we are here?
Yes, right now there's a salvage and environmental cleanup operation that's underway. A lot of utilities that still have to be restored. They're working on that aspect as well. But from the airport authority approach, our job is largely finished on the site, and we're just doing administrative work here locally at the airport to finish up.
Mr. Grimes, I know it's hard when something like this happens to find any positives, but I would imagine there was probably a lot learned, and I would imagine also that everyone really comes together when something like this happens, correct?
Absolutely. And the thing I want to emphasize the most is how lucky we are in this community to have the world-class emergency management agency that we have and the first responder network that we have. Everything worked together so well. Everybody worked together so well. A lot of cities aren't lucky and don't have the type of first responder network and EMA that we have here locally.
What you have seen and what you witnessed, which is quite a bit, from UPS, businesses that have been affected, is everyone recovering as well as they can, I guess, at this point? There's a lot of things to be, of course, to look back and go, oh my goodness, as you mentioned, the lives lost. But with that being said, is everyone doing well?
I can't speak fully for UPS, and I can't speak really about the businesses because I'm not sure about what their situation is. That would be an EMA question. What I can tell you is that UPS is like a family to us. They're in our backyard. They're within 1,000 foot of our back door of our fire station. So we have a lot of people that we know personally over there, and they're in our hearts and thoughts every day too. And we can't dismiss the fact that they were very much affected by this as well.
Well, I appreciate all that you've done, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Josh Grimes, once again, he's public safety. We talk about how important safety is here, and of course it is, especially now here at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Coming up, we're going to talk to Betsy Ruiz. She is the councilwoman from District 21. We'll get a little update from her coming up next on Louisville Now.
Give the gift of hope this holiday season. Join WLKY and Heine Brothers to support our local Volunteers of America. From winter coats to children's toys, your holiday gift can change lives. Donations provide a second chance for children and families in need. This year, let's make someone's holiday a little brighter. Give from the heart and bring joy this holiday season. Donate today at voamid.org/holidays and find a drop-off location near you. Help uplift your neighbors by providing hope for the holidays.
People call us when they don't know what to do. That's what we say.
If you want to do this job, you can absolutely do this job. You will not regret it.
You only have to be 18. You have to have a high school diploma or GED, and the rest of it's up to you.
Is it going to be hard? Yes. Are we going to challenge you? Absolutely. But can you do it? Yes, you can.
One of the objectives of Louisville Now is to let you know what's going on in the city and the people who work behind the scenes. Of course, Louisville Metro Council is on the front of everything, and with me now is Councilwoman Betsy Ruiz, and Betsy is in charge of District 21. Betsy, welcome back. We talk quite often.
Yes, we do. Thank you for having me join you.
I always love when I get to chat with you. You seem to be everywhere. I know you've been busy lately, so for those who are watching Louisville Now, tell me a little bit about what's going on in District 21.
Well, I can tell you, I was on Preston Highway yesterday, and construction has already started for the new Humane Society campus over there. It's going to be huge.
All right. Are you excited?
I am thrilled. I was thrilled when they announced they're going to be there, and I'm like, look, they're moving dirt. Yes.
That's a big part of what you do. We talk a lot, whether it be with you, other council members, with Mayor Greenberg, economic development. So you just mentioned one project. Anything else happening in District 21 that you'd like to talk about?
Well, we can switch from the east side of the airport fairgrounds corridor to the west side, and they're continuing progress on the Highland Park Mountain Bike Skills Park up under the Waterson.
Oh, wait a minute now. You're going to have to tell me a little bit more about this. This is new to me, so enlighten me, if you would, Betsy.
Well, we have probably 2 acres up underneath the Waterson Expressway, and you can't develop it. But it was largely what they want to call like a nuisance, an attractive nuisance. So it's just bare dirt. But we're working on building a mountain bike skills park under there.
Oh, okay.
So that requires nothing happening to all the pylons and everything going on with the overpasses there. But it makes a positive use of the area. And there's nothing, no mountain bike skills park anywhere in this region. So we've had people reach out to us from across several states looking forward to having this come in.
All right. So this might not only impact locals, but the entire region, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. I love hearing that. You and I had a chance to chat a little bit before we turned on the cameras, and we were talking about the success that is Louder Than Life, Bourbon and Beyond, the music festivals that come to town. You're the district that has to hear all of the calls, whether it be complaints or compliments. So overall, I'm curious, look back, how did it go for you?
It went very well. I'm happy with working with Danny Wimmer Presents, and I found it so interesting because the technology that they've got to control noise, the first night of the concerts over on the west side of the district, which now they get the noise, it was loud then, but the rest of the time, I didn't really get any complaints about it. However, I got complaints on the other side where they used to get the music, and now they're like, we want our concerts back.
Oh, interesting. See, I did not realize there was actually a part of that audience that says, we want it back, we want to hear it. I'm always hearing about the complaints. So you get both sides of it, I guess, yes.
Yeah, well, that area right off Preston Highway, they have their own little industry parking cars. And they're up till like 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and people have told me that they've picked people up who have walked out because they couldn't figure out where they left their car, and they went and got them, and just, it's a big industry for them, and it's so helpful for them, and it's just fun.
Well, Councilwoman Rui, I hate to throw a wet towel on this, but this is a conversation I feel like we should have. Flight 2976, I don't know what your relationship is with the airport, District 21. You kind of bump right up against it, don't you? Exactly what do you cover and what is your relationship with the airport?
Okay, well, the airport is in District 21, but as you go south below the airport and you cross Fern Valley Road, you hit a set of railroad tracks, and that's the dividing line. So when the tragedy happened with the plane crash, everybody was looking to me, and I'm looking around because first I had to figure out where the crash actually happened. And once we realized, it's like, you guys need to go talk to Councilman Syme because he's got the crash in his district. So really the tragedies and everything suddenly fell on him, and nobody even was noticing.
Yeah, but I know this. You were on site. You wanted to be a part of any help you could provide. All in all, and it's really hard to find any positives, but because it was unprecedented, I thought it was handled about as well as it could be considering. Your thoughts?
I thought it was handled amazingly well. I complimented the fire chief for how quickly they got it the fire put out, and Jody Myman with emergency services. He actually got a compliment from Mr. Inman, who's running the NTSB investigation, and he said that he was so impressed with how well prepared he was to manage this whole ongoing thing. I talked to Jody yesterday, and they are still out there working on site, and they will be for, he doesn't know, several more weeks.
Yeah, because it's unprecedented. It is, I think it's one of those things where you just do the best you can as things progress. You got to, of course, you got to cooperate with federal authorities as well. So, but thank you for all that you've done to help us recover as a community. I think the whole nation was in shock there. But before I let you go, Okay, well, we talked about District 21 and what's going on there, but I do think, despite some of the tragedies we've had to work our way through, I get a positive vibe out of this administration, the Metro Council, gelling, working well together. How do you feel?
I appreciate the earnestness of our mayor and his continued focus on things like the South End, which is in South Louisville, which is frequently neglected in city budgets, and his continued focus on our immigrant communities and ensuring that they get recognized and supported is because they are such a large part of our community.
Yes. Betsy Rui, I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Betsy Rui, District 21, a little bit of an update from her. Once again, we're coming to you from the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. And coming up, okay, Halloween may be over, but we're going to talk about bats. And yes, when I say bats, I mean the flying kind, and it could be somewhat of a health hazard. We'll talk about that coming up next on Louisville Now.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Metro TV shows your government in action. Metro TV is the only place you will see every minute of Metro Council meetings live. Be informed, be prepared, be a part of our community. Stay connected with Louisville Metro TV on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube, and Spectrum Cable Channel 184. Metro TV. Engage, empower, entertain.
My daughter is Alexandria Nicole Daggett. She was a Beta Club member. She loved volleyball. She was murdered on March 14, 2020 at the ripe age of 20. They use TikTok and social media so much, and you don't know who your friend really is that's on that other end and what lifestyle they're living, and you can become a victim of it.
Copper wire theft is robbing us of our safety. Thieves are targeting our essential infrastructure, darkening roadways, disrupting emergency services, shutting down internet networks, and causing over $1 million in damages just last year. Copper wire theft is illegal. Mayor Craig Greenberg's Copper Wire Theft Task Force is getting results, but your help is needed. If you see something suspicious, call Crime Stoppers at 502-582-CLUE. You could get a $5,000 reward.
Welcome back to Louisville Now. When the mayor talks about his agenda, first and foremost, the health and safety of this community, and that's what C.R. Warren is all about. She is with Louisville Metro Public Health and Safety Wellness. Is that correct?
Pretty close, yeah.
Pretty close. Give me the exact title. Out of
Metro
respect.
Public Health and Wellness.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. C.R. Warren is her name once again. Okay, I was looking over my show prep, and I had to laugh. They said, well, you're going to talk about bats. And I said, bats? In what regard? Apparently, it's somewhat of an issue, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Okay, so bats and rabies, is that what we're talking about here? Okay.
That's correct.
So we're in the, obviously, the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. I have seen bats here before. Is that an issue?
It could be, yes.
So
we see rabies predominantly in bats in Jefferson County. Other areas or other animals also carry rabies, but that is what we typically see come back positive for rabies here. We've had 6 so far this year. We had 4 last year, so we're about average.
So when people think about bats and rabies, they think about getting bit, but it also can be transmitted to pets. Talk about the likelihood of that, your pet's getting bit by a bat.
So that is why it's so important for your cats and dogs to be vaccinated against rabies. That is the first step in protecting them if they get bit by a bat or they're chewing on a bat that they find outside. If we have the bat, our lab can test it to see if it is positive or negative for rabies. That's step number 1. Do contact your veterinarian to see if they need to have a booster. They probably will, and then you'll have to quarantine your pet for about a month if the bat was positive for rabies.
Okay, now in the case of humans and getting bitten by a bat and then rabies, so how urgent is it to get rabies shots quickly? Talk to a physician rather fast, and when should they get a hold of you?
If you wake up with a bat in your house, we assume that you were bitten or scratched. It's just we want to operate out of abundance of caution because bat teeth are so small and fine, you do not know if you got bit or scratched in your sleep. So if you can capture the bat safely and bring it to our lab, we can test it. If we can't, we don't want people to release the bat back outside. If we can test it, that'll save everybody a lot of time and trouble. But do contact us immediately. Also contact your primary healthcare provider. We can walk you through what steps to take with the bat.
So bats and rabies, Sierra, is this a seasonal issue? Is this something you should be aware of this time of year, or is it year-round?
It's predominantly in the spring and fall. So they are getting ready to hibernate now for the winter. So if you do see a bat out flying around, that's cause for concern. They don't usually fly around during the day. And if they're rabid, they're usually acting erratically. So if you see a bat out and about in the day, that's usually a sign that there might be something wrong, so just avoid it.
So if I spot a bat in my home, if it happened to me, I would think my first thought would be, okay, call an exterminator. Is that what you should do, or should you immediately talk to someone in your office?
If you can safely capture it, bring it to us. We do recommend hiring a pest control operator. They can also come look at your house to see if there's areas in your attic or your gutter or something that might need to be sealed to prevent the bat from getting into your house.
Okay. We always worry about our children, I think. So if your child perhaps can't articulate, maybe they're 2, 3 years old, and you suspect they may have been bitten by a bat, what are the signs you should look for in your child?
Well,
when it comes to rabies.
Unfortunately, once you start to see symptoms of rabies, acting erratically, they might have some neurological symptoms. It's usually too late. So, rabies is fatal once symptoms appear. So if you can see the bat or find the bat and get it in for testing and start preventative treatment, that is what you need to do.
Okay, Sierra, I don't want to be repetitive, but I think it's important to stress here that if you suspect in any way that you, your child, anyone that you know in your family has been bitten by a bat, it's better to be proactive.
Absolutely.
And when I say proactive, immediately, physician, your office, call, right?
Yes, correct.
All right.
Call us.
Yes. So is this something that is unique to Louisville? When I think about bats and rabies, or is this happening all over the country?
There's certain areas of the country. It's not unique to Louisville as far as Kentucky. The whole state, has a rabies and a lot of bats mostly. That's what we see here in Kentucky. So it's not unique, but a lot of people don't realize that we have rabies here and to be cautious about it.
Okay, but we shouldn't be alarmed. I think it's pretty common in every neighborhood. You see bats, that's okay, right?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah. Just try not to touch them, and if you see one, don't pick it up.
All right.
So,
Sierra Warren, thank you very much.
thank you.
Okay, so now you've got the inside scoop on what do you do exactly if you see a bat, whether it be in the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport or in your home. Proactive, be proactive, reach out to their office, or of course, get a hold of a physician right away. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport as much as I have. It's been very informative. And once again, whether you're going to a trip on a sunny beach or perhaps you're going to see relatives for the holidays, I think you'll enjoy our airport. Everyone here is super nice, and we hope that your travel is safe. Once again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Louisville Now.